I approach the world with an infinite mindset. But when you listen to so many leaders, it becomes abundantly clear that they don't always know the game they're playing, and they talk about being number one, being the best, or beating their competition. Based on what? Based on what agreed upon metrics, objectives, and timeframes. And this is a problem, because when we play to win in a game that has no finish line, when you play with a finite mindset in an infinite game, there are very predictable and consistent outcomes. The big ones are the decline of trust, cooperation, and innovation. So, whenever I hear somebody say, "We're this, look at this, we're the best," and when you can see a little smirk on my face as you're reading the list, is because what goes through my mind is, for now. Which is, those things are true, celebrate them, pat yourself on the back, absolutely enjoy them, you earn them, you work hard for those accomplishments, but they cannot last forever. It's all for now. And I think understanding that accomplishment or rocket ships are all for now, A, keeps you humble, which I know is a value of yours. A, keeps you humble, but B, it makes sure that you stay on your game. I think humility, and let's define humility. My favorite definition of humility is by a guy named Bob Gaylor, who was the 5th Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, who just recently died. But Bob Gaylor said, "Don't confuse humility for meekness." He said, humility is being open to the ideas of others. And so it's not the aw shucks. You can have a big ego and fool yourself and think you're awesome, but if somebody says, "I have an idea," it's the humble one that says, "Let's hear it." Or who actually thinks other people's ideas actually have merit, sometimes. And that's what keeps you ahead of the game for longer, which is that you're never complacent, you believe there's always room to improve, and your biggest competitor is yourself. That you're actually not competing against anyone else on the market, you're competing against yourself. And how can you outdo yourself in culture, in training, in leadership, in culture, all these other things, and all your other traditional metrics. That's what keeps you ahead of it. But it really is humility is one of your greatest assets.